Okay, I'm laughing. I'm gonna give you clues what I'm making, see if you can guess. Okay, usually a British dish, I think. I'm pretty sure. And usually made with pork, but I'm using a mix, ground meat and pork. What was the one I thought of? David in the Bible. That's a good clue. That's actually a good clue. And not a cake, but did you guess it? Sometimes made on St. Patty's Day? Question mark. Oh, anyway, I'm making shepherd's pie. Get it? David in the Bible, not a cake, but okay, I'm making shepherd's pie today. So, want to come on over to my skillet? I know. Anything for a game, I swear. Me and Thane have been starting to play board games again in the evening, and I love playing board games. We have like this deluxe Scrabble game, and it's not just your regular one. It's like really jazzed up and boggle, perquacky. I love word games is what I love. Okay, so I have olive oil. I turned it off in this pan, and I chopped up a lot of onions. And I really am trying to cook small, you guys. So usually I have a giant pan when I make this, but see this little one? I'm gonna use this. It's not that big, right? So hopefully, and I had some leftover mashed potatoes. So I'll see how far they go. You can put a lot of different things in here. Let me grab a spoon to stir up my meat here. This is organic and fresh, so get that going. Again, I'm trying to cook small, right? So I don't need that much. And we're gonna put some onions straight in there. Actually, I'm looking at how much I gotta make here. Sorry, guys. It's just like it's time for dinner. I just turn on the camera because I just want it to be very authentic, very not thought out too much. Look how many onions. This was a huge onion. It's like, go. So onions in there. You can use, I started to say, you can make this a lot of different ways with which vegetables. Let's get closer here. With which vegetables that you want to use in it, like corn and peas. I've made it just with green beans. And today I'm going to use a mix of some green veg. I am going to use peas and green beans. Okay, so this didn't need broken up too much. I'm going to get it going. And all you really do is you're going to have a base of your meat and veg on the bottom. I don't even grease it, this pan. And then you have your already cooked and fixed up mashed potatoes, but keep them on the thicker side. Some people even make them chunky on purpose, and then you'll have a layer of those. Now, Americans are made fun of, I think, because we put cheese in our mashed potatoes, and yeah, I'm going to do that. As far as the sauce, I am going to use something that I don't usually do, but I tried it once in a pinch, and I actually like it better for this particular dish. Not for meatloaf, not for other things that some people use it for, and here's what it is. It's a can of tomato soup. This is actually going to be my base sauce for this, okay? And believe it or not, it just, I don't know, it just went really well the last time I used it like that. And so that's what I'm going to do. I was going to make real dumplings today, you know, with a fresh dough and ground pork, and you know, make the little dumplings, that basically pot stickers, how I make them. But I don't know why that didn't happen. Maybe it's my friend Tina's fault because she called me. We talk a long time on the phone. I'm kidding, Tina. I love you, and I love when you call me, especially when you're coming home from your road trips. So look at this is coming together really good. Will I need to drain this? That's always a question. I might, because I did have some olive oil in there. And I don't need that extra. It was just so that it wouldn't stick. So let me turn this off and drain it, and I'll be back. So I drained it, and I'm actually wiping out the rest of it. This is a nice nonstick skillet. So I don't even think I'm going to need any kind of fat in there at all. Let me pop this little can open of tomato soup. Instead of trying to mix it up with the meat mixture and onion in there, I'm going to go ahead and put it in first and add a little bit of water. And this is well drained, so I'll put this in and get that back in. Whoa, can't waste those onions. Onions are my fave. So I tell you a long time ago, growing up, and I was a little girl sitting at the table, and I guess kids don't want to eat onions for some reason, and my dad said, like almost in like a whisper, onions make you good looking. So so I believed him. I love onions now. On purpose. Okay, I'm gonna get my I gotta drain these a little bit, these green beans. Had some frost on them from the freezer. I'm not even gonna cut them up. Look at, see, they're little bits still frozen. They made the peas frozen too. So get in there. It'll all come together. Crunch that up. Come on. A little ice. That's just more water, right? So I'm going to get that in there and cook it down a little bit. Then I'll decide what else I want to do. I have a couple options here from this point, but I'm waiting on, I had to make a little bit more mashed potatoes. I didn't know if I was going to have to, but I do. So let me cook this down a little bit more. Looks kind of weird right now, but this is such a good meal. And I'll spice it up. Okay, hold everything. I'm cooking this down, and can you see it got a little thicker? I want it even thicker than this. If I have to, I'll put a little tablespoon of cornstarch in cold water, mix it thoroughly, and then put that in, and it will thicken super fast that way. Cornstarch always goes in the cold water, and you mix it and then put it in. And one other thing, now that it's this thick, that I added was a teeny bit of the beef flavor or beef bouillon. If you have beef stock, use that. I use like, let's say a teaspoon of that, and I put it in a little prep bowl and mixed it up with a teeny bit of water and put that in. And now it's going to be more beefy flavor. Okay. And again, this is the way I do it. People, instead of the canned tomato soup like I did, you can use tomato paste. But I didn't want to open a can of tomato paste. And I know they sell it in the little squirty tubes, but I didn't want to do that. And here's my, can you see my mashed potatoes? I didn't have enough of those leftover ones. Look. So over here I have my, just 4 potatoes I chopped up super quick. Rinse them off. These are russets. And then I'll just I use this pan on purpose so I can use my mixer right in this pan. Okay? Anyway, see how I always keep my wooden spoon in there so it doesn't boil over? That was another video, right? That was one of my first ones. So this is getting thicker and thicker, and we'll be back in a minute. Do you guys remember when I did the little experiment showing you, I took the spoon out, and when you're making pasta or potatoes, like macaroni, that kind of thing, and it starts to boil over. Now this is a bigger pot for how many potatoes I have in, but I wanted you to see it's not going to boil over, but I just want to show you like the difference when how it quells it really fast by putting a wooden spoon in. I just leave it in from the beginning though. So ready, set. Can you tell it went down? I don't know. Can you tell? Well, it did. So I'm just going to leave it boiling like that, you know. Just leave it. And they're almost finished anyway, aren't they? This is how I check my potatoes. How do you check your potatoes? I do that. And then, yeah, it goes right through. You don't want them so much that they're going to be mushy. So I'll turn those off and drain them right away. I put the butter in my pot so it melts, you know, while they're draining. Put that in. I mash the potatoes, and then the milk goes in last, okay? So, and the shepherd's pie smelling really, really good. There's one other thing I want to put in it while I'm here. I might as well do that, right? Here, I have it on really low right now. Let me tip this down. One other thing, must be this week to use Worcestershire. I am literally going to put 2 little squirts in one. Look how little that is, too. That's it. Strong stuff, man. And it gives that real deep flavor. Oh, and I made a mistake. I had to view the video because I forgot where I was because I was taping my cats. What else is new? In between making this, because they were sitting in the window watching the squirrel again. Anyway, I forgot my place, so I was watching the beginning of the video. And I'm sorry, I said something totally incorrect. I said it's a British dish, yeah, blah, 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 usually made from pork. But that's because I was looking at what I had. And I think it's lamb. No way I was making it with lamb. Just a preference, but I wasn't. I've had lamb chops before. I've had authentic gyro before. But I'm not cooking it. Just not. Time to drain the potatoes. Alrighty, I am going to make it a tiny bit thicker. So I have a teaspoon of cornstarch, some cold water. Look, it doesn't take much at all. And then I'm just going to plop it in. And you can watch how fast this thickens up. You can use flour and water too, but I prefer cornstarch. You don't have to cook out the flour taste. See how it's getting thick? Look at that. And my potatoes, I mashed them so quick. Just with some butter and very little milk. Remember, very little milk. See how that's thicker now? Okay, cool. I am such a fibber. Do you remember the first thing I said? I'm making a little amount. I'm going to use this little pan. Well, no, I have to use this one. I'm putting it on a piece of parchment just in case, you know, on the cookie sheet, just in case it bubbles up and over. Then I don't have to clean it so much. So I'm going to pour this mixture in. Okay. Put it in the bottom. Get in there. I don't like to waste anything, so I'm going to scrape that down. There we go. A little bit. Even it out. Okay, and now we're going to put our mashed potato on top. Like I said, I mashed them right in here. And I left them a little bit thicker than I usually do. Not chunky, but thicker. Now, one other thing that I do want to add is with regular mashed potatoes, I'm going to add some salt. Okay. And I'm going to add, this is just like me being me, just to jazz up the potatoes a little bit. And I'm going to be totally American, if you will, and add some cheddar on top of the potatoes. So I'm just going to mix those in. Some people pipe them on, meaning a pastry bag, and it looks fancy. Oh, man, I should have done that, huh? But I'm not going to. Okay, I'm going to do like this, and then I'll spread them out. I'm trying to do this lefty. It's not working. Oh, it's not totally not working. Watch this. Glump. Glump. Get in there, you. I can do that. There's definitely enough potatoes. I'm not going to mix them up into the meat mixture at all. The meat mixture smells really good. Don't forget there's beef broth in there. Like that. This is a big hunka-munka spatula to be using for this. Finesse work, right? Can you see that? Am I doing that right? Okay. Yes. And I'm not going to the edges because it will bubble. It'll bubble up. Just going almost to the edges, but not quite. We'll give it some peaks. By that I mean like it's the ocean. And then they'll get like, not crispy, but they'll get done a little bit more. And to finish it off, now think about this. This doesn't have to go in the oven very long at all, does it? Because everything's already cooked. The mashed potatoes are cooked, the ground beef's cooked, the soup mixture and everything is cooked. Now you can put on as much or as little as you want. Do I cover it? It depends. If we're gonna eat it right away, I just throw it in the oven. But if it's gonna be a while, I wanna cover it because then this will get too, quote, done before the rest of it. But I'll show you a picture at the end, okay? Shepherd's pie. There we have it. No corn. Okay, pulling it out of the oven. And I thought I heard the crunch. Ugh. It's nice and heavy and looks delicious. So there you have it. Shepherd's pie.